Doesn't
Hit
say
record.
Oh, there we are. Now we're live.
Hit record.
Here. I did. Everything's recorded. We're doing our thing.
Doing it
All
live.
right. We're doing it live. Wait a minute. Here we go.
Uh-oh. Are we?
Yeah, we're live. Here we go.
I know, kidding. Hello, and thank you for tuning in to the Boomer Bunker. I am the Duchess. Speaking on behalf of John Domingo, everything we say or discuss on this show is for entertainment purposes. If you disagree with anything either of us says on this show, and you're not operating motor vehicle or under the influence of alcohol or narcotics, please feel free to tell us your thoughts in the chat. If you're listening to this as a downloaded podcast file, you can write to us at boomer.bunker@gmail.com or tweet us at boomer_bunker on X. My advice is to look at the world we live in, realize you complaining to us about it isn't fixing anything, and then continue on with your life. If anything we say during the show offends you, please feel free to watch a different stream, shut the podcast off, or smash your device with a hammer. Boomer Bunker is not liable for damages to equipment by choosing the latter. If you have made it this far into the show and have decided you can live with these terms, then by all means, give your balls a tug, slap yourself in the face a few times, grab a cup of whatever pisses you off, and please enjoy the show.
So our concern's the same no matter who the Republican candidate is, the Republican nominee.
Well, let me just tell you this. No matter who the Republican nominee is, we're winning. We're winning.
You've seen the numbers, a lot. Do you think Donald Trump at this point is a foregone conclusion?
Well, I'm really confident we're going to win because we're going to cheat, okay? We're going to cheat, and we have so many different ways how we're going to accomplish that. First of all, we're flooding the country with new voters. I was in charge of ignoring the border in order to make that happen. We're going to release a deadly disease called X. Elon Musk can't have all the fun. Once we fearmonger the fuck out of everyone, okay, we're going to go ahead and instill mail-in voting. That's how we won last time. Ooh, we've weaponized our entire Department of Justice to go after our opponent, right? And, if all else fails, we'll release the holograms of the aliens and burn the fucking country down, whatever it takes. Go America.
When he mocked the disabled and war heroes, I looked the other way. He said to march on the Capitol, well, if the president says it's okay. And I don't mind sex with porn stars, I'd do it too if I had the guts. But when it comes to f***ing the furniture, well, that's just f***ing nuts. So I'm proud to be a Kamala man who has quit the GOP. Cause I just can't abide a man who's tried for 34 felonies. And it's time to stand up and face the fact that the men that I once cheered are a bunch of wingnut white nationalists. Well, those guys are f***ing weird. Well, I bought me a Trump Bible, cause like me, he's a man of God. But when he rants about sharks and batteries, I find that doddering old man kind of odd.
Shut up! Oh, oh, oh.
Welcome into the Boomer Bunker Thursday night edition. I'm one of your hosts, John Domingo, and alongside of me, the lovely, the talented, the Duchess.
Good evening, everyone. And John. How are you?
Well, besides I almost burnt my house down yesterday, not doing too bad.
No, that's not good.
No, it's not
Would
good.
you care to share?
Well, okay.
A little.
So, I guess cleaning the lint trap out of your dryer and just making sure that the vent is okay isn't good enough. Because I had my dryer basically, it just stopped. It shut off because of high temperature. And when I touched the back of it, it would burn you. That's how hot the back of the thing was.
Scary. Okay.
So, yeah, so I'm still trying to get this whole thing straightened out. I'm still trying to play DJ here, or radio personality, where you got the mic going, and where do you work the volume from?
DJ's Johnny Jams.
Yeah, DJ Johnny Jam with his music and stuff. I'll fix it in post. So, yeah, no hat and no headphones. I got earbuds in and no hat.
He's
I'm going
free heading it today.
I'm free heading it tonight. No hat. You get the bald John tonight. I'm embracing my old manness. Is what I'm doing.
Free
tonight.
balding it. Maybe?
Yeah, like okay. I wear a hat. I'm not fooling
Nice,
anybody. Yes, I'm free balding. So I yank the dryer out. I unplug it. I pull the vent off of it, and I let it cool down. And all I need to take everything apart is a 1/4-inch nut driver. What don't I have?
A 1/4-inch nut driver?
Correctamundo. I don't.
Ooh.
Now, if I go to my old house, I probably have 4 of them in the toolbox.
Yes.
It's been there since I left in 2011.
Almost one per kid, practically.
Right. So I said to my ex-wife, I said, hey, do you think you can go out and get me a 1/4-inch nut driver and bring it the next day? And she's like, what? What's a quarter?
What?
Fuck it.
Never
so
mind.
I did have a pair of pliers. And with the pliers, what I did was I sat there. Remember the thing where we had, it was, I know a guy, his name is Nigerian German Larry. Nigerian German Larry. Nigerian German Rig Larry. Nigerian German Rig Larry. He'll put up a TV. He'll fix your car. He'll do all that stuff. It won't be right. Well, I grabbed a pair of pliers and I Nigerian German Larry it. And I got everything apart. And then I pulled this thing out. And there was like a poodle inside there. I couldn't believe how much. So I get the vacuum. I vacuum everything out. I put it back together again. And it worked. I did another load. Boy, I tell you what. When you clean out all that lint, then it really works a lot better. I would have to say that. Yeah, Nigerian German Rig Larry. Nigerian German Rig Larry. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I have a feeling that's going to take hold in the Discord community, the Nigerian German community.
I think it might. There's a good
You
chance.
didn't miss anything, Mike. We were just talking about I almost burnt my house down because
Start over.
Because I did not have my dryer was full of lint, and I had to take it apart, and then I didn't have the right tools, so I Nigerian German rigged Larry it to get it apart. But it did work. I do have a cordless drill, and it's not a screwdriver. It's not a screwdriver. There's no head for anything. It's just a nut driver. You couldn't use it. Trust me. I tried to take the cordless drill and lock it on to the nut.
Wouldn't do it?
With it. Couldn't do it. Tried everything.
Sucks.
When I got done, I was sweating. I
Say
mean,
you
I
did.
was
Shit
soaked,
everywhere.
right? There's dirt all over. I'm filthy, rotten, dirty. It reminded me back in the elevator days, like when I would come home, and you felt like, you know something?
You did
I felt
something.
like I did an honest day's work. You know what I mean?
There you go.
I pulled that thing apart. I get everything right. I put it back together again, made sure everything was right.
No extra parts, no extra
No
screws.
extra parts.
Everything went right back in the...
Yeah, everything went back together. I
Awesome.
slid it back over. I hauled it back up into place, and then
So
I was
manly.
having problems getting the vent hose back on again. It wasn't cooperating. But then finally, I got that to work, and I put it back together. I turned it on, let it run a little bit without anything in it. I felt the back. It wasn't getting hot like it was.
Nice.
You call yourself a repairman? I just don't have the tools anymore.
I know.
Now that dryer works like a motherfucker, Bob. That
I
thing
tried those clothes quick.
that thing dries now, baby. You know, and then when there's lint going into the basket now. I just thought that my clothes didn't have any lint anymore, but that's not the case.
Apparently,
So.
plenty of lint.
Yeah. So I went upstairs and got a nice hot shower. Felt like I got
Nice.
a day's a good, honest day's worth of work in.
Nice.
And then
Like
couldn't
the
sleep.
good old days.
Yeah, then couldn't sleep. Could not sleep at all. Oh, then coming down this morning, I come down this morning, I slip as I'm coming down the steps.
No.
I grab a hold of the handrail, like for dear life, ripped it right out of the wall.
Didn't you just replace that?
I just
Like
replaced it.
recently?
I didn't rip where I placed it. The screws are still there. I snapped the bracket off. Like I snapped it in half.
Shit.
I did not get paid for
Nice.
my honest day's work. You know what it is? I got paid in here, Sparky Toaster. I got paid in my
Warmed
soul.
his heart.
Yeah,
Warmed his heart.
yeah. My heart grew. Yeah,
Like the
I
Grinch,
didn't-
his heart grew 3
You know,
sizes.
I have to say something.
Yes.
You know, when you're a man and you do manly things, like you repair something, it makes you feel like a man. You know, if you got to call somebody and have them come out and fix it, and you're sitting there and like, how you doing? I can't. You know something?
Manly
I was
men
gonna,
doing manly things. Nice.
I was going to take my camera and set it up while I was taking this whole thing apart and, going through this whole thing. But then I was like, yeah, you know what? Then I'll be like, oh, look at this fat guy. Look at him. He's, I was just like,
Stop.
Yeah, so, but I still got it done. I still know how to do it. I was going to make it real fast, like, speed it up real fast, like I did it in like 2 minutes when it actually took me.
Oh, you
I
can
don't
time
know,
lapse it and just
like-
zoom it up. Yeah.
It's like 2.5 hours, 3
And you're
hours.
done
if
it-
I would
done
have had
3
a quarter
minutes.
nut driver, I would have had that thing apart, back together again in 30 minutes. But you had to take the end of it and grab it with the pliers and hold it as tight as you could and then turn it till you could break it loose and then get it out. I know, nobody gives a shit. I'm proud. I'm proud over here, ladies
I'm
and gentlemen.
proud of you, John. Good job. I'm glad you didn't burn your home down.
Yeah, see, Mike knows. It's damn straight, John. I'm late because I was doing an oil change, not paying somebody for that. He scratched his balls afterwards and sat down. Man spread it like a man.
You didn't
Like
give
a
yourself
man.
poison ivy or anything, Mike, did you? Again?
Did you see? We're going to get into this today because the theme of this episode is half the country are fucking morons. And when I say that, I mean, some people say, no, they're fucking idiots, real morons. And the reason I say that is just take a look at Kamala Harris. 2 months ago, she had the lowest approval rating of any vice president in the history of vice presidents.
Yes.
Now, 60
Second
days
coming to
later,
Jesus. Yeah.
the old guy's out, and she's ahead in the polls. Why is that? Did she get any better? Did she learn? Did she on-the-job training? No. The mainstream media sat there and told everybody, guess what? She's the best thing since sliced bread. And everybody's like, well, I guess she is. I mean, well, the media would lie to us. Why
They
would
polished
they
that
not?
turd up real nice. So, I mean,
Yeah.
look at it.
Got
Got rid of the old turd, brought a new turd in.
Oh,
Made it nice
I'll
and
tell you
shiny.
I'll tell you what, the mainstream media has got that Kamala Walz cock and balls, and they're grinding on it, and they're deep throating. They're hot toing and spitting on that thing.
They are a hawk two in that combination for sure.
I mean, they're bending over, just letting them drive it in hard, and the people
Okay.
are, and they're falling for this shit. Like she didn't get any better. She's the same fucking moron, the same DEI hire, didn't earn
Better
it,
speechwriters. Better speechwriters.
didn't earn
now.
it. DEI didn't earn it. She's that same person. And you know what cracks me up about the left is like that. It's racist to call her a DEI hire. Well, I thought DEI
You've been promoting
was
it.
good.
You've been promoting DEI.
Yeah, I thought it was.
That's what
good
Joe
when
Biden
people-
said. He is the most diverse cabinet.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. So
He
they're
does.
literally full of DEI people. Like,
Yeah, he's got the most diverse cabinet, not the best cabinet. Do they know what they're doing? Remember the guy that was bald, was dressed like a woman, was stealing luggage?
Stole luggage. Yeah. High end luggage, by the way. He wasn't
Yeah.
stealing like Walmart luggage. No.
And then the moron would take the clothes out that he stole and wear it on camera. That's how he got caught.
Yeah, because the
he
designer's
stole-
like, that's my clothes. Those
That's
are literally
my clothes.
mine.
I lost my bag, and He's wearing my clothes, and I have pictures of my clothes. How did he get my clothes that are exclusive? There's only one made. How did he get it? So that guy had to, he resigned. No one gets fired in the Biden administration.
No, they just go away. They just drift off somewhere else.
Right.
I'm surprised they didn't just reassign him. But he did get arrested, so maybe that had something to do with it.
Well, Sparky says the media's not talking about Trump anymore, playing popularity. They're not talking about Trump, which is a good thing, because when they talk about Trump,
it's not positive.
Trump and J.D. Vance get no favor from them. They hammer Trump and J.D. Vance. But Kamala and Walz, they could rape somebody, and the media would just happy dance away, and they would not even say anything about it. JM Synthetic says the left news Kamala had recorded numbers at recent outing of 1,500 people. They asked Trump today how he felt about that, and he's like, have you seen mine? I had 65K. Again, here we are with a cock off. It doesn't matter how many people go to these events. In 2020 or 2020,
people? Okay.
In 2020, Trump had rallies, and people were packing them, and he lost the election. It does not matter. It does not matter. And I'm telling you something again.
Whoever votes.
If they don't get their shit together and start doing some advertising.
They need to do aggressive campaigning that are not just like, pictures of Tampon Tim. They need to really hit the fact that she has no fucking platforms.
Right.
She has nothing. And what she's had, what has been in charge of, failed miserably.
Right.
The border.
But she's on. I can't start a YouTube video without seeing her stupid fucking face in the beginning.
Oh my God, I know.
How much money is she dumping into YouTube? How many influencers has she paid to sit there and do posts about that? And here's the other thing. There's a lot of legality with those posts. Like if they don't say that they were paid for this, that's against the law. But how are you going to tell? But if they find out, again.
Well, but some of these I'll say influencers lightly, they're not they're not political influencers. They're just people that are popular with the key market that they're looking to attract. So if it's someone who talks about fashion all the time and they're like, oh God, yeah, go vote for Kamala, like that's not they're people. It's not believable. If it's somebody who speaks politics or speaks their mind all the time and then said, this is what I believe, this is how I feel, not just a commercial stuck in through these influencers. And I think that's going to be a problem for her, because I'm pretty sure some people are still going to realize that, and especially the target markets that she's looking for, which is mainly the black vote, they're not buying it. Kamala's very popular with the young white women.
That's the scourge of this country is liberal white women. We played it last week. I'm just so happy to be here with all these wonderful women. God, I wanted to hit her with a fucking hammer right between the eyes. Oh my God. I really did. I just, that wokeness, that fucking.
Yeah. I didn't appreciate her, like, we're going to put our listening ears on. I'm like, I'm not a kindergartner. We don't need to talk to people like that.
What we're going to do is
proper.
We're going to gentle parent you through this shit sandwich, which is the Kamala Harris, Tim Walz campaign, and say why you should vote for these two socialist commies. And let's just get it done. Again, you can watch somebody's at the back of your window there. I just saw somebody walk through past your window back there. I don't know who that was. Might have been Paul.
I hope it's Paul, because there's nobody else.
There he is.
Oh, it is Paul. I can see him now.
Paul made an
Somebody
appearance
just
on
bobs
the show.
by. There you go.
Yeah.
Special guest. Oh,
yeah, and they're just happy talking through this, and they're just gobbling it up like, oh, anybody but Trump.
I know.
Anybody but Trump.
Yeah.
Paul's famous now. He was on the Boomer. I was watching.
He's seen by tens.
Yeah,
by
tens of people.
Tens of people.
No, I'm sorry. That's false advertising. 20 of people
10 of
10
people.
of people were watching this. Actually, I just looked. It says we have 10 people watching. 10 of people
Bob.
were actually watching this.
Bob says that's Dean blocking your driveway. Oh, that's great. Cool, you're famous. Oh my God, if he creeps in the window, I'd freak out.
Oh, I
can
would love
see
it if
him
he
now.
just walked up to the window and just started looking in. That would make my night. That would make my night.
He's gonna clean the gutters. I see him. He's got the extension ladder. So if you
he's got
see
the ladder out.
if he falls, I gotta go. Yeah, I gotta go call 911 or something. You see a body just drop. Which, by the way, he had done once. One time he fell in front of one of the girls, and the girls were like, "You have to tell mom." He's like, "Oh no."
No, we're not telling
No,
mom
no.
anything.
I don't know how far he fell, but he did fall.
Right.
You see a drone with a Boomer Bob sticker. Ignore it. Okay.
Yeah.
No worries.
So, I mean, some people. So, anyhow, Kamala, she's a chameleon. Wherever she's at, that's the crowd she's talking to. So, Eddie Griffin.
I like the accent changing, by the way. That's
we're
fun.
going to get into that right now.
yeah.
So, Eddie Griffin has a podcast, and he was watching, what's her name? TRJP Henson. How do you say her name?
Taraji.
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 Tarjay.
Taraji P. Henson. Yes.
So Eddie Harris, Eddie Griffin was talking about this, and he ain't happy at all.
The rights are on the line. Our Supreme Court is on the line. Our basic freedoms are being tested, Madam VP. I know you've been traveling across the country.
What basic freedoms are on the line? Can somebody fucking explain this to me?
What I don't know what that means. Like,
That-
if they speak in general terms,
Well,
it
if
scares
Trump-
people.
If Trump wins, people are going to lose their basic freedoms. If Trump wins,
What does that mean?
what basic freedoms does Trump want to take away from people? Now, the first thing they're going to say is the abortion thing. And he has said, I will not sign a national abortion ban for the country. It's the Supreme
He's
Court is
clearly
taking care of
stated it. Yeah.
Right. And if the Congress wants to get together and change that, then I honestly think he'd sign it, to be quite honest with you. But this is the bullshit. This is where half the fucking people, the morons, like the real dumb. That's where they're like, oh, God, you know what she said? Tarjay P. Henson, one of the Muppets, she said that, you know, what happens is if Trump, we're going to lose our freedoms. And VP
says,
Harris, what are we going to do, VP Harris? Wait till you hear this.
Well, hang on. So
What
Sparky
are you
says they just say.
Go ahead.
Sparky says they just say shit and hope it sticks with
Yeah.
people that have weak, brainwashable minds. So yes.
Yeah, exactly.
What are you hearing?
Yeah, girl, I'm out here in these streets, and let me
Yeah,
You
girl.
lying bitch. You out in the streets. Oh, so all of a sudden you black again. Because it's election season. They need a nigga. So, you know, I'm out in these streets. What streets are you in? Huh? What streets? You out in the streets with your white husband, huh? Them streets. Yeah. Because you harder than still getting harder. Madam VP. You understand me? You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm out in these streets. You know what I mean? I'm a hustler. Supreme. I'm in the streets, goddammit. I'm hitting the pavement. Agitating the gravel. You know what I'm saying? I'm kicking rocks like a motherfucker.
streets. And let me tell you, you're right, Taraji. There is so much at stake in this moment. The majority of us believe.
I'll tell you what. I
So
agree
much
with
at
her right
stake.
now. I agree with Kamala right now. There is so much at stake in this election right now. We have one because they keep saying we ain't going back. No. I want to go back. I want to go back to where we had cheaper gas prices, less inflation. You know, our money wasn't gobbled up. Our dollar wasn't devalued.
We actually had money. Yeah.
Right. You know, the job market was better. People aren't getting laid off. We're not crashing into a recession. Yeah, I want to go back. Please let us go back to 2017. Please. I want to go back to there. I don't want to go forward because I know what's going on. She picked a person further left than she is as a vice president. Both of them.
I didn't think that was
commies.
possible. Yeah.
Right. The best pick would have been to pick Josh Shapiro.
Yeah, they're
Can't
not going
pick
to do
him.
that. No. Because
Why
all
is
the anti-Israel, all the anti-Semites, well, they don't want her. They don't want
Because
him.
He's
They wouldn't get. Yeah, he's Jewish.
He's a Jew. And that's why they can't pick him. Because they even picked this guy, The commie guy that's anti-Israel and all that, they picked him. And the people
They stuffed it right in Shapiro's face.
Right.
Yeah, we don't want you, and we're going to get this guy
and
to show how much we don't want you.
This feckless twat goes to his hometown of Philadelphia and rubs his fucking Jew nose in the
my God. Yeah. Okay. Just easy. Rubs his Jew nose.
She rubbed his Jew nose in the fact that he's not picked because he's a Jew.
Well, and they dragged out this old Dick Cheney looking fella in his hometown, in his state, to announce not only are you not it's this loony. Yeah.
Kamala, read the fucking room. Read the room. All right, let's get back to Eddie Griffin.
In freedom and equality. But these extremists, as they say, they not like us.
No, they not.
Look at this.
They not.
They not like us. They ain't not like us up in the hood.
Did you ever see Tropic Thunder? Did you see Tropic Thunder?
No, I have never watched Tropic Thunder.
Oh, okay. So if anybody listening live, the Osiris Lincoln, which was the Robert Downey Jr. character. Robert Downey Jr. was his character was Australian, who decided he was going to play a black man. So he was in blackface. I know, Jody. I can't believe he hasn't seen it either. He was going to play a black man. So it's Robert Downey Jr. as an Australian, playing an Australian guy, playing a black character. So I'm just a dude pretending to be, dressed as another dude, acting like another dude. It's great lines, but the way Eddie Griffin sounds very similar to the vernacular that Robert Downey Jr. was using. You'd have to. Yeah, Jody, we got to do like a live stream and get Jamingo on some of these movies. This is ridiculous.
Just give me
I cannot believe you haven't seen Tropic Thunder. It is the most politically incorrect movie.
I'll start doing some of them. We'll put them behind a paywall or something.
Oh my God,
Jamingo reviews Tropic Thunder.
It's so good.
Jamingo reviews whatever other movie you want me to see.
All right, well, and Super Troopers is the other one. Jeez Louise, man.
What the hell is this?
All right, I'm sorry.
Hold on. We got Creepy Bob. Creepy Bob. See, here's what Bob is so insecure. He has to go. He has to show his manliness about because he's so virile. Hold on, here we go. I bought it a year ago on Amazon Prime Video, having never watched it. Why? Because I'm too lazy. I'm too busy laying the pipe. What are you, a fucking plumber? What are you putting in sewer pipe? Is that how you're laying pipe? Jesus Christ. Give it a rest, Bob. Could you give it a fucking rest? No one cares.
Oh,
no one gives a shit what you're doing with your balls, your dick and balls. No one cares. All right, let's get back to Eddie Griffin.
Back to Eddie Griffin.
They not like us. Kendrick, kick her in the head. Kick her in the head for even using your goddamn legs. They not like you. Ain't like us either, bitch. Well, how about that? Hold on. They will take anything and use it as a slogan to try to get them votes, boy. Then they didn't try to this black bitch out and turn her into a nigga once again. Yeah, that's how he won last time. Got the black vote because they got the black woman. But this bitch, she ain't black at all. I don't know what she is, but you think she ain't no nigga. I know that much. Yeah, she got a white husband because she's so black. She's so down with us that she married a white boy. Like a majority of these mayors and female senators that are black. All of them got white husbands.
Have some of that coffee there. Have some of that coffee.
I bet it's not coffee in there. I don't think he's drinking coffee.
Mike says, if Bob's laying pipe, must be sewer pipe. There must be a backdoor action.
Oh, gross. You're right there, John.
You know what? I'm too busy. I done got no time. I got no time for podcasting or anything like that. I'm too busy throttling the ladies. There's a line outside my door where the women come for some of this Bob Dickin.
Oh, my God.
Bob Dickin.
Because this is why you watch the live show. You too, folks, you too can be part of this.
All right. Anyhow, I'm trying to get back on my game again after the pipeline story. Sparky says, wonder how Josh feels that the Dems shoved it up his ass because of his ethnicity. Ooh, got that one right. You know the side who talks about racism all the time. Yeah, Josh, your team shoved it right up your poop chute. That's absolutely, that's 100% correct.
Mike says the episode title should be Bob Dickin.
Bob Dickin? What about, how do I make a cartoon about Bob Dickin? How does that work?
I don't know.
How about Bob laying pipe?
Bob Dickens is his pen name. Boner Bob. All right, everybody's having a good time.
Bob Dickens. Yeah, he's no longer Boomer Bob. He's Boner Bob. I'm out here boning all these Alabama bitches. Listen, I'm going to have to, in a couple more years of this, I'm going to have to go get me some new hips. You know why? I'm about to wear out a set of hips over here.
Oh, my God.
All right,
wear
Bob.
a set of hips.
There you go.
Nice.
I got to hook you up with a Jimmy. Jimmy loves talking about all his conquests, too.
The Alabama Slammer. Okay, nice.
You got to stop, or we won't make it through the end of the episode. Well, is he over there? I don't understand. Is he over there, or is he sitting at home with his socks, his underwear around his ankles with the TV on? I don't know. He took a picture the other day like he was at his new place, which is whatever. I don't want to get into Bob's life. Nope. Jesus Christ. Stolen valor. Anyhow. So, well, let's get into Kamala a little bit if we could, if I may. Here's the thing about Kamala. She loves the phone call. You saw how she was on the phone call with Tarjay P. Henson.
That's like her shtick now.
Right. And remember when she was picked for the vice president, she's like, "We did it, Joe." Right, when she got,
We
when
did
it. And then when she was picked for the vice, oh, thank you, Joe. I know. Listen. I'm sorry I called you a white supremacist and a racist, but now that you picked me, I'll tell all my my Nigerian German people to vote for us. So,
and then when Obama endorsed her too, as well,
right? And then so when Obama endorsed, she said, "Oh hi Barack, hi Mike, hi Michelle," and then so here she is. She's Scamala is calling
Scamala.
What's his name? Tampon Tim.
Tim.
Hi, this is Tim.
It's Kamala Harris. Good morning, Governor.
Good morning, Madam Vice President.
Listen, I want you to do this with me. Let's do this together. Would you be my running mate and let's get this thing on the road?
I would be honored, Madam Vice President. The joy that you're bringing back to the country, the enthusiasm that's out there, it'll be a privilege to take this with you across the country.
The joy. Happy, joy. Yeah. That's all they're talking about.
Keep that Jewish guy out of here. Yeah.
The joy. Yeah, we got rid of the Jew. Everybody wanted me to pick the Jew. I'm not picking the Jew. I don't have time for this. I need somebody milquetoast in the middle of the country, a commie like me, who wants to just beat down their people, tax them to fucking death. That kind of guy.
Yeah.
Spend money, misappropriate funds, not follow the money where it can be just used by anybody and be stolen. That kind of person. You're my kind of guy, Tampon Tim.
My kind of guy.
Well, let me tell you, I have just the utmost respect for you. I have really enjoyed our work together. You understand our country. You have dedicated yourself to our country in so many different and beautiful ways. And we're going to do this. We're going to win. And we're going to unify our country and remind everyone that we are fighting for the future for everyone.
What future?
Yay, everyone.
What future? The future of socialism? Let's turn the United States into Venezuela, please.
So let's get out there and get this done, okay?
Let's do it. Do the work in front of us. Let's win this thing.
That's right. All right, buddy. I'll see you soon. Take care. Thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
Bye.
God damn.
Hey, buddy. Hey, will you do this with me? God.
You're pretty good at that.
It's the wine.
You know, because we got to stay woke.
Wine.
We got to stay woke. Because
If
this
you're
is
not
what it's all
woke,
about.
you're broke. I don't know.
You know,
what she
we
said.
have to stay woke. Like, everybody needs to be woke. And you can talk about if you're the wokest or woker, but just stay more woke than less woke. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
You know what woke means?
How
It means you're a
awkward.
loser. Everything woke. Everything woke.
Speaking of woke,
It's
Edward's
true.
here.
Everything woke turns to shit, okay? Look at what's happening.
Edward's here.
It's kind of funny, actually.
She's right. You know,
Look
she's
at
not
the-
right. You big dummy. You know
If
she's
you see
not right.
the co-host when she was on the show saying, like, just be woke. If not woker, just be the wokest. The woman
let's
sitting
all
next to
be-
her was like, stop talking.
Let's all
like,
be
she just,
woke.
It was really cringy. Cringe is a good word.
Yeah.
Correct, Edward.
Everything she does. Cringy, cringy, cringy.
It's just, she like just takes it up and just, she just laughs at everything. I thought I was bad.
All right, let's see. Okay. Well, you know what it is? It's about DEI. Didn't earn it. Okay. So let's talk about equity.
It has to be about a goal of saying everybody should end up in the same place. And since we didn't start in the same place, some folks might need more. Equitable distribution.
Give up your money.
You know what that is?
Give up your shit. That means
That's
you're going to take my
communism.
shit and give it to somebody else. Yeah. Everybody
That's-
gets the same
Yeah.
except the government. And they get it all.
The government.
The government.
Giving resources based on equity, understanding that we fight for equality, but we also need to fight for equity, understanding not everyone starts out at the same place. So there's a big difference between equality and equity.
Goddamn right there is.
Spelling.
Equality is where everybody gets the same, nobody's different, everybody gets the same chance. And then the harder you work and the better you are, and you win by merit. Equity is we just take these people, we put them in classes, and then we say, well, these
You have
classes,
3 Twinkies. We're going
Right,
to take
and then-
2
yeah.
of your Twinkies. Yeah.
right, and that's equity.
Yeah.
I again,
It's like when you have
more-
kids, you got equity. Everybody gets the same amount of snack. That's a dessert, you know?
Yeah.
But like if my neighbor ain't working, I don't need to give him my car. Like, or because I
Right.
have 2 and they have none. It
Right.
doesn't work that way.
Equality suggests often everybody should get the same thing.
Yeah, the same opportunity.
Suggests.
The same opportunity. And then what you do with that opportunity is how you would advance or not advance. You know, if they took all the money in the world and just took all the money away from the rich people, okay? And they took that money and they put it in a big pot and they counted it all up, and then they counted the amount of people that are in this world. And they took that money, divided by about that amount of people, and then just gave everybody the equal amount of money. In 10 years, the rich would be rich and the poor would be poor because it's a mindset. And that's how the rich become rich.
Well, that often assumes everybody started out in the same place, as opposed to equity, which is everyone should end up in the same place. And if you then understand not everybody started out in the same place, you understand some people need more. So we all end up in the same place.
Yeah, poorhouse.
No.
We all end up in a poorhouse.
Yeah.
Except for a few people of the elites. They get to keep everything.
The elites, there's certain people that'll just never be giving up their stuff. Yeah.
Right.
Jam Synthetics says,
Right.
it's okay to come in last, Ricky Bobby, because if you're not first, you're last.
You're just the second loser. If you're not first, you're the first loser.
You're first loser. Yep.
We are proud of the fact that equity is one of our guiding principles. Proud of the fact that we understand equality is important, but not everybody starts out on the same base.
Oh my God.
We
the
see
same thing.
that people in our country are having an experience that is not equal. So when we talk about the work we are doing here together, it is recognizing that and being guided by this principle of what we must do in the spirit and in the interest of equity. To put equity firmly at the center of our economic policy. But no, if you look at the reality of who will benefit from certain policies, when you take into account that they're not starting at the same place.
I'll tell you what, man, she certainly does get her talking points down, doesn't she?
Well, that's simple. Keep them short and sweet and dumb.
I know.
Unburdened by these nuts. I thought I was a hand talker. She does that a lot too.
I know.
It's a lot of this and that. And
well, you know, you get because then this is, so then what you create is and this is what happened, because we were asleep at the wheel for, I don't know, like 2 generations. And we basically let the schools raise our kids, and our schools go in there and, you know, turn them into activists. And when you do that, you kind of get this.
Instead of using the typical mom and dad parent titles, there's actually gender neutral and non-binary parent titles that exist.
All right. Remember that thing that she keeps saying, to be from what has been, to take,
be unburdened by,
the burdened by what, and you know, she kept saying it over and over and over again, like the same thing about equity. And here it is, a Marxist communist trope. I never thought about it, but here's somebody explaining it.
What can be unburdened by what has been. We've heard Kamala Harris say this multiple times, but did you know this is actually a Marxist way of thinking? So what did Mao Zedong do in China when he came into power? He got rid of the 4 olds.
Get rid of the olds! Fuck the olds!
Unburdening the past and looking towards this utopian Marxist socialist future. The same in Russia. Getting rid of your history, unburdening the past. Looking towards a more utopian socialist, communist future. Did you know Kamala Harris's dad was a Marxist professor? So when we hear Kamala say, looking to see what can be, being unburdened by the past, this is very dangerous. This is how countries have gone down. This is how people have lost their freedoms. She's saying it. You have to listen. You have to listen.
Nobody's listening.
We can't let America go down, people. You have to pay attention.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Just, you know, I was watching the news the other day, and they're saying that Donald Trump is a threat to democracy, is a threat to our way of life.
You repeat it enough.
We don't want to go back. We want to go forward. Joe Biden started ruining this country in 2020. And you know what? We're going to finish that job.
Yeah, we haven't burned it completely into the fucking ground.
Yeah. You know what? He started it. But you know what we're going to do? We're going to finish it.
We're going to torch it like a motherfucker is what they're going to do.
All right. So let's talk about our new buddy.
So scary.
Our new buddy, Tampon Tim. When you have a leaky mangina, get yourself a box of Tampon Tims. Get that all straightened out. You know, again, I've been saying that he's a socialist and a communist, but then again, I repeat myself. The thing, and you know what? Let's bring the receipts. But here, don't listen to me. Here's a gentleman. He'll tell you, because he lives in Minnesota, and in Minnesota, he'll tell you.
If I was Tim Walz, governor of Minnesota, and Kamala Harris's choice for vice president, I wouldn't want you to know that back in 2020 during the George Floyd riots, I initially refused to call in the National Guard because I felt that protesters needed the space to express their outrage. I wouldn't want you to know that my own wife on camera has said that violent criminals deserve as many chances as are needed, regardless of how it makes the, quote, law and order people feel. I wouldn't want you to know that I actually called Donald Trump a fascist and threat to our democracy barely a few weeks after his assassination attempt. I would want you to know that I have been on record as saying that one man's socialism is another man's neighborliness. I also would want you to know that in my own state, I signed a bill into law that requires schools for children in the grades 4 through 12 to have access to free menstrual products in those school bathrooms. And yes, that applies to male and female restrooms. I wouldn't want you to know that under my watch, I have authorized the ability for illegal immigrants to receive free college tuition. And I definitely would not want you to share this video with other individuals so that they know that information as well.
All right. So, okay. Now,
honestly, the tampon thing is like the least of my worries.
Right. But it's such a great nickname, Tampon
Yeah,
Tim.
yeah.
I love it. So here's the thing. Whenever you tell somebody, from the left about these things, they go, well, do you have any proof? Do you have any proof that he said these things? I think I do.
Yes.
Here
yes,
we go.
do.
If I was Tim Walz,
Not
governor
that
of
one,
Minnesota,
John.
I think we need to push back on this. There's no guarantee to free speech on misinformation or hate speech, and especially around our democracy.
What?
Oh, what?
I
Let's save
think,
that one.
Hey, Tim, I know you're busy, but if you go back and look at the Supreme Court, they said that hate speech is protected under the First Amendment. Now, I know every morning you get up, you take a copy of the Constitution into the bathroom with you after you have your morning coffee, and you wipe your ass with it, that and the Bill of Rights.
Absolutely.
But actually, that is the First Amendment, the freedom of speech, okay? It doesn't matter if it's misinformation or disinformation or if it's hate speech, which who decides whether it's hate speech or not, all right? It is, under our Constitution, it is legal. Okay. Well, what about the Second Amendment? You're a hunter, right, Tim? You went to, you were part of the National Guard. How do you feel about the Second Amendment?
Hope woke up like many of you did 5 weeks ago and said, Dad, you're the only person I know who's in elected office. You need to stop what's happening with this. I'll take my kick in the butt for the NRA. I spent 25 years in the Army and I hunt. And I gave the money back, and I'll tell you what I have been doing. I've been voting for common sense legislation that protects the Second Amendment, but we can do background checks. We can do CDC research. We can make sure we don't have reciprocal carry among states, and we can make sure that those weapons of war that I carried in war is the only place where those weapons are at.
Wait a minute. Let's back that up, Tim. You carried weapons in war? You didn't go to war,
Yeah.
Tim. When your company was supposed to go to Iraq, you quit. Matter of fact, when you quit, you actually broke back a rank or two because you were signed up for 6, and then once you found out your unit was going to
Get
Iraq,
deployed. Yeah.
yeah, you quit so you could run for Congress. All right, and you're toting us around like you had this weapons of war. Oh, and besides that Second Amendment right that you're talking about, we're allowed to have weapons of war. We're allowed to have weapons of war. And just in case the government wants to step out of line, we need to be able to protect ourselves from the government.
That's right.
Now, you think, when I say that he's a socialist, John, do you have any proof of that? Yes, I do.
Don't ever shy away from our progressive values. One person's socialism is another person's neighborliness. Just do the damn work.
One person's socialism is another person's neighborliness.
Is that like when you report your neighbors?
Yeah. Well,
for having an extra person over?
During COVID, this tool actually started a hotline where you're carrying neighbors. Like, say you were out in the backyard and you were having a cookout with some friends or something, and you didn't have your masks on during the shutdowns, you could drop a dime in, call the hotline, and turn in your neighbors. Who else does that? Communists. Communists do the same thing. He's doing this already, and this was just in Minnesota. Could you imagine if he wants to fuck over the rest of the country like this? Are we paying attention? They're talking about how Donald Trump's a threat to democracy. They're the threat. Don't look at me. We're not a threat. We're just happy people here. We're just full of joy. And, this guy. Donald Trump. Yeah, this guy here, he's just a folksy kind of guy, just an old friend. Your basic old friend communist.
Oh, it's your friend Tampon Tim. Come on.
Right. Your
He's a
Tampon
friendly
Tim.
guy.
Just your friendly guy. And you think I'm wrong about being the tyrant? Here we go.
I've just signed Executive Order 20-01, declaring a peacetime state of emergency for the state of Minnesota. We need to stop congregating. We're going to close the bars. We're going to close the restaurants. We're going to close the places where we gather. Several 100,000 of your neighbors were just laid off. An entire industry has been shut down in the face of this, all for the greater good.
The greater
good. All for the greater
We're
good.
watching out for you.
That's right. The
As long as you don't feel
greater
both
good.
hands on your shoulders. Yeah.
That's right. And you know what? You know who else has talks about the greater good? The communists. The communists.
Governor, with the power of the state constitution behind him, has issued 104 executive orders affecting everything from schools to restaurants and bars to churches to basically every.
Executive Order 2049, allowing commercial food trucks to operate at a highway rest area in Minnesota during a COVID-19 peacetime emergency. Can't have that. Can't have that.
Every facet of everyday life.
Democrats who control the House are moving in the opposite direction. Some are pushing to put a mask mandate in state law.
Hi ho the Dario, I wear a mask to school. It helps to keep me safe.
Explosive testimony from the Minneapolis police.
Stupid masks.
I know.
Those masks don't do shit.
Who said
never did.
Go ahead.
That the governor ordered cops to abandon that 3rd precinct during the spring's rioting.
I was in the command post. I heard it. I heard the governor say, give it up.
At 9:32, Chief Arredondo calls the mayor to tell him they've lost control, can no longer maintain order in the city. And then at 10:13, Chief Arredondo, who's monitoring the scene from a couple blocks away, gets on the radio to announce defeat.
Get a citywide tone right now in our loss of the 3rd precinct.
The 3rd precinct has been compromised.
The mayor said I request a National Guard. Ooh, I'm out. This is great. We're going to have massively trained troops. No, you're going to have 19-year-olds who are cooks.
19-year-olds who
Wow.
are cooks. He waited 3 fucking days after the mayor was begging for the National Guard. Trump calls Walz and says, if you don't stop this, I'm going to send in our National Guard. And this piece of shit had his daughter use social media to tell people when this National Guard was coming so they could get out of the way. He was giving them a heads up. This guy is horrible. And you know who's even worse? His wife. What a peach she is.
Oh, yeah.
I would say those first days, when there were riots, I could smell the burning tires. And that was a very real thing. And I kept the windows open for as long as I could because I felt like that was such a touchstone of what was happening.
What does that even mean? I just wanted to smell. I wanted to smell the burning tires, but I wasn't near it because I don't live near that.
Well, you know what it means?
Buy it. I just
this is what it
smell
means. I love the smell of burning tires in the morning. It smells like Black Lives Mattering. That's what it smells like.
Like a fucking dumpster fire.
Nobody's asking them questions. No, the media will not ask them any questions about this. They will happy dance past this. They won't ask him anything about any of these things that he's done.
Right.
All right. What about J.D. Vance? Boy, I'll tell you what, they're up his ass like an open umbrella. He's sitting there, and AOC says, "Oh, look at this guy. He's sitting there manspreading." You know what manspreading is? It's like when you're a man, you don't sit there with your legs crossed, your legs together. You know why? Because you're a man. A real man don't sit there
I've
with
seen
his
men
legs
with
together.
their legs crossed. Not
Who?
like how I've seen men cross their legs.
Who?
A shitload of men. They don't cross them like women do. They have the one leg on their foot on their knee.
A real
I've seen
man
men cross
sits
their
there
legs.
with his hands on his knees, with his legs spread open. That's what a real
hanging
man
their
does.
dick out. Okay.
That's right, because we got cock and balls.
Yeah, we take up all the bus seats.
That's right. That's right, because we're men.
Okay.
And we take up the seats. And, and we spread out because we can.
Okay.
Because that's what men do.
Okay. You and your little balls and take up a whole
How dare you? Not little balls, big giant balls.
That's right, because I can't close my legs.
Big balls.
Great big
So big I
bouncy
can't get my
balls.
legs closed.
What did you say, big balls?
I got big balls. I got big balls, and I cannot lie.
There you go, Mike. Clip that, please.
But what happens with so then what happens when the media gets in front of J.D. Vance? Are they the same way with him? Are they happy dancing through everything that he does? No.
not.
Everything he does. And you know something about J.D. Vance? He sits there and he actually takes it. And you know something? This guy's a smart motherfucker. He can sit there and take that and then just take it and then turn it around and just throw it right back in their face. And the media fucking hates this because they're trying to get, they want to gotcha. And he's like, you know what? I'm rubber, you're glue. Everything you throw at me bounces off me and sticks to you. Like the cat lady comment.
Drug cartels bring across that open border. Now, you asked about the remarks that I made that were, you said that they were offensive to millions of women. Well, here's what I'd say. Thank you, ma'am.
This cat lady loves you, JD.
I love you. Me and my cats think you're awesome.
I love you too.
Don't come near me. We pointed her out so they know to keep her
What
away.
I said is very simple. I think American families are good and government policy should be more pro-family. Now, if the media wants to get offended about a sarcastic remark I made before I even ran for the United States Senate, then the media is entitled to get offended. You know what I'm offended by? I'm offended that normal Americans can't afford grocery prices. I'm offended.
Good turnaround.
That Kamala Harris opened up the American southern border and allowed fentanyl to come into our communities. And I'm offended that she wants to be the people's president, but she won't even answer tough questions. That's what I'm offended by. And I think that's what most Americans are offended by, too. And I guess on that note, I should say, thank you all for having me. It's great to be here. If I can ask you to just do one thing. We have got thank you. We have got an incredible amount of momentum.
All right. Yeah, I don't know. I think that momentum's drying up.
It would be fun if somebody was like, meow, doing a good job. If they just meowed at him.
I'm a furry and I just want to be fucked in the ass. By
There you go, Mike. There's another one.
There's another one. So,
Clippy clip.
Again, Kamala Harris doesn't pick, I was going to say Ben Shapiro, not Ben Shapiro. Josh Shapiro.
Josh Shapiro.
Josh Shapiro. She doesn't pick them. And so who do they attack? Do they attack Kamala Harris because she won't pick a Jew because he's a Jew? No. They're not picking on, they're picking on JD. JD. He's got some answers.
Sir.
Senator Garrett Haake from NBC News. You have repeatedly suggested only reason Kamala Harris didn't pick Josh Shapiro to be her running mate is because of his Jewish faith. Do you have any evidence to support that assertion that a person who's married to a Jewish man is somehow anti-Semitic or bowing to anti-Semites?
Well, I reject the...
All right. So this is how the press asks the question to him. Why don't you go back and ask Kamala that question? Hey, you're married to a Jew. Why wouldn't you pick a Jew as your running mate? Is it because of your bowing to your anti-Semite base? Anti-Semitic base? Anti-Semitic base? Is that why? Is that why you won't pick the Jew from Pennsylvania?
Maybe.
That you need to win. You need to win Pennsylvania, and he's got a 61% approval rating at Pennsylvania, almost giving you Pennsylvania on a platter, but you won't pick him. Why? Why won't you pick a really charismatic guy who's got a 61% approval rating in a state that you need to win the election? Why wouldn't you do that? Let me think. He's a Jew, and you know what? We can't have a Jew because part of our rabid leftist base hates Jews.
No, they're pro-Hamas.
All right, so then...
Anti-Semitic.
All right, so then they ask him, JD, like he didn't pick Josh Shapiro. Here we go.
In terms of the question, I did not say that was the only reason that Kamala Harris didn't choose Josh Shapiro, so you should... take a little less DNC talking points when you ask your questions and ask a real question. I have suggested that Kamala Harris was motivated, or at least her party was motivated by anti-Semitism. And the evidence that I offer for that is what dozens of Democratic activists said in the run-up to her selecting her nominee. There were multiple grassroots activists, multiple media personalities, multiple people with influence in the Democrat Party who suggested that she should not choose Josh Shapiro because of his ethnic background. And look, I don't care what your ethnic background is. I know Donald Trump doesn't care what your ethnic background is. I do not want to live in a country where we're choosing who the next VP is based on skin color or ethnic heritage. Choose based on merit. And the fact that so many prominent leaders in the far left felt empowered to talk about Shapiro's ethnic heritage is a disgrace. And I think it's a scandal for the Democrat Party. Yes, I do.
How about that? Is that a way to turn it around?
I think so. And the guy's like, crickets.
Right.
Yeah, but
Bob says, look at him speaking articulately without a prompter. Yeah, how about that?
What?
What? Sparky says, Minnesota has 10 electoral college votes. Pennsylvania has 20. And Minnesota's going to be blue anyhow. When Ronald Reagan won that landslide, the only state he didn't win was Minnesota. Minnesota was still blue. I mean, come on.
Well,
but,
I mean, that's Sparky's state, so.
Walz is trying his shit where he says, apparently, and I don't know where this started. I haven't seen where this even started about. Apparently, JD had sex with a couch. I don't know. I have no idea.
I thought that was made up. I thought it was a joke that got spun up.
I know a lot of people have had sex with socks. I've heard about that. I don't know if the man has had sex with a couch or not. I don't know. But whatever. To each his own. You know what else I heard? I heard that Tampon Tim Walz had to have his stomach pumped because somehow he got a belly full of horse cum. Now, I don't know how that happens. I don't know. Maybe, he went to pick up the bottle of milk that he had, and unfortunately there was a bottle of horse sperm there. And by the time he got done,
I could see how you could easily grab one, not the other. Yeah.
Right. So Walz tries to basically label JD as an elite. And again, JD has answers.
Sir.
Now, last night, Governor Walz suggested that because of your Ivy League education and your Silicon backing your political career, that you yourself are part of the elite. What are your first impressions of them trying to frame you this way to the American public?
Well, look, I came from a family where nobody in my family had ever gone to law school. I grew up in a poor family. The fact that Tim Walz wants to turn it into a bad thing, that I actually worked myself through college, through law school, and made something myself, to me, that's the American dream. And if Tim Walz wants to insult it, I think that's frankly pretty bizarre. Now, look, what really bothers me about Tim Walz, it's not even the positions that he's taken, though certainly he has been a far left radical. You know what really bothers me about Tim Walz as a Marine who served his country in uniform? When the United States Marine Corps, when the United States of America asked me to go to Iraq to serve my country, I did it. I did what they asked me to do it, and I did it honorably, and I'm very proud of that service. When Tim Walz was asked by his country to go to Iraq, you know what he did? He dropped out of the Army and allowed his unit to go without him, a fact that he's been criticized for aggressively by a lot of the people that he served with. I think it's shameful to prepare your unit to go to Iraq, to make a promise that you're going to follow through, and then to drop out right before you actually have to go. I also think it's dishonest. Something, again, if you guys ever get an opportunity to ask Tim Walz or Kamala Harris some questions, he made this interesting comment that the Kamala Harris campaign put out there, and I bet they're regretting they put it out there now, because he said that and he was making a point about gun control, he said we shouldn't allow weapons that I used in war to be on America's streets. Well, I wonder, Tim Walz, when were you ever in war? What was this weapon that you carried into war, given that you abandoned your unit right before they went to Iraq, and he has not spent a day in a combat zone? What bothers me about Tim Walz is the stolen valor garbage. Do not pretend to be something that you're not. And if he wants to criticize me for getting an Ivy League education, I'm proud of the fact that my mamaw supported me, that I was able to make something of myself. I'd be ashamed if I was him and I lied about my military service like he did.
All right, so let's talk about J.D. Vance.
Right.
He grew up poor. All right. He wrote a book, Hillbilly Elegy, that ended up being a bestseller. They turned it into a movie. What he did was he didn't have much of a chance. All right, where he lived, there wasn't any way to make a living. So what did he do? He signed up for the military. All right, he went in there. He got a GI Bill. He went to the university. He went to Ohio State University, and he got his education, I guess, in 3 years or 2 years. Graduated magnum cum lately.
Magna cum
lately.
Yeah, that's it.
And then
Magna cum lately.
He went to Harvard. Okay, he graduated from Harvard Law School, and that's where he met Vivek Ramaswamy, and then he got into the tech industry, and he made money. He again, there's a guy that is the American dream. That's what happens when you have when you have equality, when you're able to work hard and build something for yourself. That's the American dream. And the fact that Tim Walz is busting his balls about it, Tim, what did he do that was wrong? What did he do? He got the GI Bill where he could afford college. He went to college. He did real well in college. It got him into Harvard as a white guy.
Couch.
Okay, and then he went, and then he ended running for Congress, and then he became a congressman, and now he's running as a vice president. I don't see one thing that he has done wrong. I mean, the couch lady thing. I mean, not the couch. The cat lady thing. A little aggressive. I understand it.
That was not. I did not think that was in good form. You don't insult voters.
That's what I do.
I mean, I
insult.
You're not running for office.
Of course.
You're not a representative. You represent you.
I'm just an old boomer sitting in his basement with nothing better to do than scream at the internet webs. That's what I do.
This should be a podcast.
This should be a podcast.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, I just, and then, no, and where's Joe Biden? Has anybody seen this guy?
Who? Oh, let's get him a Where's Joe?
Dark
We got to get him
Brandon.
like the Where's Waldo hat.
Dark Brandon. You haven't seen Dark Brandon? Where's Dark Brandon?
I have not. He's hiding.
Oh, my God. Where's my Dark Brandon stuff?
Oh, no.
I didn't load my Dark Brandon stuff?
Oh, no.
Oh, I'll have to save that for Sunday.
How dare you? Oh, we can do
I have
the whole
about
thing.
5 or 6 Dark Brandon stuff. I get a chance. I have them. I just didn't load them into here.
Oh, Bob says he has an interview airing on Monday night. Wow.
Joe Biden? Is this going to be long-legged Joe Biden? The 6'3" Joe Biden?
It's going to be spoon-fed Joe Biden is what it's going to be. They're going to be standing behind whoever's interviewing him with some ice cream.
He's dead. He's buried next to Bob. That's where he's at. But, I mean, real Americans, they want to know, what's going on with this country? What happened? Here's a guy right here.
Why do I feel the need to complain? Because we're getting fucked right now. Let's do a little recap. Just yesterday, $2.9 trillion was wiped from the stock market because people are fearing a recession. The U.S. fertility rate has fallen to a record low. It hasn't been this low since 1979. Why? Because people can't afford kids. Home prices have gone up 47% since 2020. The average payment to buy a house was only $1,200 5 years ago. It's now $3,000. That has priced out so many Americans, and now they're forced to rent, and yet rent has gone up 32% since the pandemic. Then they're claiming that groceries have only gone up 25%. We've seen many TikToks of people clicking reorder on their apps, going from $100 to $300 to $400. Groceries have doubled, if not tripled. We have a border crisis that has cost the taxpayers $150 billion so far, and we've sent nearly $200 billion to foreign countries. We've got the Social Security Fund that's going to run out in just 9 years. So now you have millennials and Gen Zers not knowing if our Social Security is even going to be there, even though we're paying into it every single month. And then the government is spending more money than we're giving them in tax revenue. We've reached the new milestone of $35 trillion in national debt. Now we're footing the bill, paying the interest every month. And Americans are drowning. We are $1.1 trillion in consumer debt. It's because people are putting groceries on their credit cards because they can't afford anything. So you're asking me why I'm complaining. Why aren't you complaining?
Why? Yeah, right?
That was a good
But
one.
it's okay because it's not Bidenomics. That's not the problem. That's not the problem.
Bidenomics.
It's not Bidenomics. The problem is corporate greed. It's the corporate greed. It's the rich. The rich are using this to price gouge. And when Kamala Harris gets into office, she's going to take on big pharma, and she's going to take on the real estate people, and she's going to take on, Walmart to get them to lower the price. And forget that. For some reason, there's a fucking shortage on cottage cheese, and I can't get cottage cheese. This is a fucking emergency, ladies and gentlemen.
It's ridiculous.
I tried to order cottage cheese, and I'm like, oh, okay, here we go. I order it because that's what I eat now. And they're like, oh, we're out. What do you mean you're out? How can you be out of cottage cheese? How are we out of cottage cheese? Who eats cottage cheese besides me?
Me.
You too?
I eat cottage cheese.
I get the full fat, though. I know you eat the low fat.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the full fat. Love the full fat.
I can't eat that.
There's nothing wrong with fat. Fat's good for you.
Yeah, I got
You know
enough
what's
of
not
it,
good
thank
for you? The low fat. The low fat's full carbs. High fat, low carbs. Low carb. I mean,
high cholesterol, low fat.
It's all the same. Doesn't matter.
Sorry. I only eat half a cup. I mean, I'm not eating a ton of it.
I eat a whole container.
Well, you eat the whole friggin' thing, but it quirks
I eat
you
the
up.
whole container. Yeah, it's like 6 servings. All right.
Ugh.
So, okay.
Oh, sorry.
In 1992, was it? When Ross Perot ran for president. I don't know when that was. Was it 94?
It was It was 92 because that was when Clinton got in.
Clinton was running against Bush Sr.
Bush, yep, and Perot
he's
took
the
votes.
reason. And I voted for him. I voted for Ross Perot because the guy made sense.
Let me
He
tell
was
you.
Ross Perot was like Donald Trump without the balls. Like, in other words, the
He's a crazy little rich
players
dude.
to be started threatening his family, and he's like, hey, you know something? I'm a fucking billionaire. I don't need this shit. I'm going to take my fucking ball and go home. But before he did that, he was making a lot of sense. Now, this is 1992. Watch what happens. Look at how much we were in debt then, and they were crying about it. Watch this.
Number one, we cannot spend our children's money. We are looking on the edge of a revolution of young people who are starting to realize that we, our generation, have put them $4 trillion in debt, and they don't like it, and they shouldn't. Don't we love our children as much as our parents loved us? Sure we do.
No.
We cannot spend their money. Now then, that's the easy decision. The hard decision is, how do you fix it? We got to put everybody that's breathing back to work and a good, solid job. Then you've got a growing tax base. But in the meantime, you've got to have a real Graham Rudman that stops the deficit spending, so you don't lose any more financial blood. Then with the growing tax base, you pay off $4 trillion, and we leave the American dream to our children.
So that was Ross Perot in the early 90s talking about our $4.6 trillion deficit, how that was going to hurt the future generations, Gen Xers, Millennials, and Gen Zers. So what have we done in the past 30 years to remedy that? Absolutely nothing. In fact, we have increased the deficit from $4.5 trillion to $33 trillion, 8 times the amount that he was concerned. And you wonder why the Millennials and Gen Zers are so frustrated today.
Absolutely. The guy's got, I mean, he's making a great point.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? But again,
They weren't ready for him. And when you have the 3-party, it usually just squishes the one party out.
Yep.
And Bush was weak. And everybody loved Bill Clinton.
Oh,
Bush was
he's
just
played
too.
the
He was too
saxophone?
old. Yeah, he was on Arsenio.
He's
Like,
on
and
Arsenio?
anybody remembers that? You know, but it was just. Well, he was young. He was Southern. You know, and people like. He was very personable. He's a very good politician. I mean, not that I liked him for his policies, but he was Slick Willie.
Slick Willie.
Slick Willie.
You know, again, we've been talking about all the bad news. There's some good news. You know what the good news is? Cori Bush lost her primary.
Bye, bitch.
She is out. She is now on the unemployment line. She is kicking rocks. She's kicking that bitch, kicking rocks. And you know what? She ain't happy.
Pulling me away from my position as Congresswoman.
Come on. It's like church. Come on. Pulling me away from my position as Congresswoman. Someone in there out there. Come on. Come on. Bring it home, sister. Come on.
I think of it more as they kicked you out. They were tired of you.
The voters have had enough.
Yeah, you weren't doing shit.
All you did was take some of the strings off.
Oh,
you
please.
unshackled my chains of slavery. You done did it now. You done did it now. Oh, the shackles are off. I'm free. I can do and say what I want to do. Hold on. Where's my chirp? Nope. Where did I do with my chirp? God damn it. Ah. There it is.
There you
There's
go.
my
Better
chirp.
late than never.
I got the chains released. I'm a free woman now.
Yeah, Jason says a chest piece. Oh my God, that is a big tattoo on the one side.
Oh.
Like peeking. Ooh.
That's right.
The woman behind her freaking out.
Let's be clear.
Let's be clear.
Should be called Taraji P. Henson. See what they can do. Maybe they can work something out.
Let's be clear.
See the
watermelon? Is that a watermelon? Is that a watermelon?
Normally, I'd be laughing about this.
Oh my God!
But it's not. It's not a watermelon.
What is that?
It's not. It's not racist. It's not like.
What is that though?
It's what it is. It's what they. It's the Palestinian colors.
That is not. No.
That's what. Yeah,
that is not the Palestinian flag. It is literally an upside down piece of watermelon.
I know it is, but that's what they use it for because this is. I think so.
Oh, is that
Look
what
it up. Take as we go through this. Just take a little goog. Give it a goog.
I'm gonna give it a goog.
And say, watermelon. Right. You back that up a little bit.
Please.
Was she a man?
Let's be clear. Let's be clear.
Oh, she's loud.
Let's be clear. Let's be clear.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Let's be clear. I can't think of anything else, but I'm going to just be reporting and repeating. Let's be clear.
Let's be clear. Let's be clear. Let's be clear. Let's be clear. Let's talk about what it really is. Because see, now I don't have to worry about some strings that I have attached, and as much as I love my job. But all they did was radicalize me, and so now they be afraid.
They done radicalized me up in this
like you weren't before? Okay.
You were radical.
I know. She's a fucking loony.
Hey, I can't help it. They get
Sorry,
it's in
dude.
one channel. It's not my fault it's in one channel.
I'm sorry, she's screeching, dude.
You know what? She lost so much money she can only give you half the audio. If I would have won the election, if they would have sent me back to Washington, I could have gave you both ears of audio. But since I was taken down, since they did this to me, I can only give you half of audio. Now, if you listen to us as a podcast, you'll hear it in both ears. But listening to it live, you're only going to get one ear audio. Sparky says, left channel only. That's right.
See, now they about to see this other Corey, this other side, because let me say this. I just grew up a whole lot more over the last few weeks. Just grew up a whole different way. And so what they are about to get.
I'm about to go gangster on these motherfuckers. That's what's going to happen here. You ain't going to put me down. You ain't going to make me go to the back of the bus. That ain't happening because I'm here.
They think. So the thing is this. The thing is this. I don't think that anything. There is nothing that happens in my life that happens in vain. So if this happened, it's because it was meant to happen. And let me say, it's because of the work that I need to do. And let me say this.
Any of you motherfuckers hiring? Because I'm out of a job in January.
I need some benefits.
I need me some benefits. That Obamacare suck. I can't
I don't want to be on that shit.
I don't want to be on that Affordable Care Act. That Affordable Care Act ain't shit.
I got to wait for a doctor appointment.
You know what I get? When I don't get them Jew doctors on Affordable Care Act. I get them Pakistani doctors. She's walking back and forth like James Brown.
She's like a caged lion. She's like screaming. Yeah.
Oh, she pissed.
AIPAC, I'm coming to tear your kingdom down.
Now, you know what happened here.
Who's she tearing down?
AIPAC, which is the AIPAC, which is the Jewish pack.
Oh, she just threatened them?
Well,
that sounds like a threat.
They dumped about $8 million in ads to take her down, and apparently it worked.
It worked.
The reason I don't have a job is because of say it, everybody, the Jews. That's why those filthy, money-grubbing, big-nosed Jews. That's why I don't have a job.
Oh, my.
That's why I'm on unemployment. That's what the Jews do. They keep the black person down. With their Jew money buying their Jew commercials. Look at that.
She should have raised more money and countered him.
That's
right.
right.
On her. She coasted her way through.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? The voters went, nope.
Nope.
Not you.
So that's 2 squad
Bye,
members
bitch.
down.
Yep.
And from what I understand,
Bowman and Bush. Bye.
Ilhan Omar, that brother marrying Muslim, she is on the chopping block next. And ain't too happy with her over in Muslim land.
Oh, yeah?
So, yeah. And I think, is it in Michigan or is it in Minnesota where now they can play that 5 times a day, the prayer thing for Muslims?
I think it was Minnesota.
In Minnesota, they can now go on a loudspeaker 5 times a day and play the come to prayer moment for Muslims.
Yeah, that's fun. That's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pay attention.
That's not scary as fuck to
Pay
hear that.
attention. Right. Pay attention, America, because right now we got a little bit over in England and over in France.
Oh, my God, yeah.
They're getting it up the ass. I mean, they are getting Muslims up the ass. And to be honest with you, the white people are getting fucked, especially in the UK.
Yeah.
I mean, holy shit. All right. So remember back in 2020 when then George Floyd passed a counterfeit $20 bill and the cops came and they got him out of the car.
And all hells broke loose, yes.
All hells broke loose. And he didn't want to go to jail for having fentanyl, so he tried swallowing it. And basically he was having a drug overdose.
Who knew fentanyl kills? Yeah.
Yeah. And they drug him out of the car because they tried to put him in the car, and he somehow got out of the car because he's huge.
Subdued him on his neck for a few minutes.
Right. Yeah, and then then the United States in the middle of a pandemic when nobody was allowed out, nobody was allowed to go to work, and nobody was allowed to congregate. If you're out there, because COVID is very woke. COVID virus is very woke. If you're out there and you're protesting for Black Lives Matter, then COVID's like, no, that's all right. These are. But any other way, COVID take you down. All right. So, well, this is the same thing that happened over in England. And this is the Prime Minister of England. This is what he said with the BML riots. This is how he spoke with them.
Like you.
But the what riots?
I was shocked and angered.
What did I say?
He said BML.
BML. BLT riots. Your bacon, lettuce, and tomato riots. The BML. Your bowel movement.
It took a second to sink in. I'm like, wait, what?
I'm on a roll. Don't stop me. I'm going around
the
horn.
BMI? The BMI riots?
Yeah, on the BMI riots. The fats were like, I've had enough.
They come rolling out.
Oh, yeah, you know what? Don't you call us fat no more. We'll come sit on your ass.
We're going to run you over.
We're going to run you over with our mobility scooter. Get the fuck out the way.
Get the jazzies. Beep, beep.
That's right. The BMI scooters.
That's right. I'm sorry. Go ahead, please.
So this is the Prime Minister of England talking about the BLT riots because they were out of bacon.
Like you, I was shocked and angered at the killing of George Floyd and the response of President Trump and the U.S. authorities to the peaceful protests.
The peaceful protests.
I'm sorry. What was...
The ones that
I don't
caused...
think they were peaceful. When you're
$2 billion
burning things...
Yeah, $2 billion worth of damage, and they burnt businesses down that have never recovered. All right,
or been rebuilt. Yeah,
those peaceful protesters. That's what you're talking about. The protesters.
You mean the ones that are over there now? Yeah, so peaceful. Yeah.
People rightly demanding justice has been an affront to humanity. The last week has shone a spotlight on the racism, discrimination, and injustice experienced by those from black and minority ethnic communities in the US, in the UK, and across the world. Martin Luther King said, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere."
And we shot that motherfucker.
That's why today I've written to the Prime Minister asking for his assurance that the British government is doing all that it can to urge President Trump to respect human rights.
And let them burn the rest of the country to the fucking ground, because we're still pissed off that you kicked us out of there in 1776. So fuck you guys.
They're
and the fundamental democratic right to peaceful protest.
You know,
they have a monarchy. They should shut the fuck up.
But,
Like,
you know, so it is so, it's infuriating to listen to this guy right now speak like this. They have a fundamental democratic right to peaceful protest. That's
they
what
do,
they have.
but it
right?
wasn't peaceful. Yeah.
Well, okay. But
You
he's
start
saying
lighting things
this,
on fire. Yeah.
He's saying this here now in 20, whatever it was. 2020 is when this happened?
2020, really, yeah.
2020, okay.
This is old.
Right.
And this week, Labour has called on the UK government to ensure that our exports are not being used in the suppression of democratic rights in the US.
What the fuck do they export to the United States? What do we buy from England?
Tea.
Tea?
I don't know. Do we buy tea?
What do we buy from them? They ain't got shit. They ain't got, the fruit sucks. What do we take from England? Yeah, okay. All right there.
We took it when we left, and then when we beat your asses. So.
All right there, Whitey. All right, you keep your shit. Who gives a fuck? That's right. Your cars suck too. Sparky
And you
says.
killed Princess Diana. Fuck off.
Right.
So.
That's what happens when you. That's what happens when a white girl starts
When you
messing
step
around
out of
with
line.
a Muslim.
Yeah.
That's right. The queen puts a hit out on you.
Yeah.
But we must also reflect on the injustices in our own country. We must address the reality and the impact of anti-black racism, which has been highlighted by the Black Lives Matter movement.
Yeah,
You
stay in your
mean
lane,
that
dude.
Black Lives Matter movement that's got all that money, didn't give any to the black community, kept it to themselves, and bought all kinds
Bought
of houses and
houses.
cars with it.
Yeah.
Basically embezzled money from the entire world, and you
Mm-hmm.
motherfucking dummies fell for it by giving to Black Lives Matter. Idiots.
That particular group was
Now, more than ever, it's incumbent upon us all to ensure that this is a turning point. We must face up to and understand and address the systemic racial discrimination that exists in our own communities. The Labour Party stands with black communities in our country and across the world because Black Lives Matter.
Were they here helping
Yeah.
clean up?
No.
I don't think so.
Oh. Well, the problem is that they have let a lot of Muslims in.
Oh, they sure.
A ton of Muslims in. Matter of fact, I think the majority of people in England now are Muslims. And they're not happy. And what they're doing is they brought their Muslim culture with them over. And, you know, they have the Muslims, they don't have a problem raping a bitch or killing a bitch. You know, they'll rape a woman, kill a woman. They don't care. They figure that's what the Muslims, that's what they do. So apparently a Muslim knifed a bunch of children.
Yeah,
and
that's not cool.
They got the whites all upset. So the whites started protesting. And then what did the Muslims do? Well, the Muslims, they got out there and they started beating the whites with sticks and knives and machetes because they
Sounds
came.
fair.
This is their peaceful protest. This is
Be in no doubt.
Whoops, hold on, that's the wrong
Those
one.
that
God damn it! I hate when I do that.
Dang it, John.
Where is it? Where is it? Here it is.
Eeny, meeny.
This is where the Muslims are beating the white people. Now, there's a couple whites over there, and you can see that they've got boards. There's 3 white guys over there, and they're taking an ass whooping because the Muslims are there.
You certainly don't walk into the Muslim neighborhoods unprepared. And certainly
No.
with less
Well,
than the same amount of Muslims there.
Well, the
Just
problem
saying.
is the Muslims all got together.
Well,
and the Muslims
strength in numbers, and you got three
Right.
dumb
And
whiteies that are like,
went into
I'm going to kick your ass.
Yeah, well, they went into the white neighborhoods looking for trouble.
Well, then.
All right. Now, remember that British Prime Minister that was talking about the Black Lives Matter?
Mm-hmm.
Here he is again after the Muslims were beating up all the whites.
Be in no doubt, those that have participated in this violence will face the full force of the law. The police will be making arrests, individuals will be held on remand, charges will follow, and convictions will follow.
Now, you think he's talking about the Muslims that were out there
He's so not, yeah.
beating the white people? He is not. He is talking about the white people because they didn't take a good enough beating. That's the problem. Because the whites were starting to fight back against the Muslims.
You can't do that.
And, well, according to this guy, you can't.
I guarantee you will regret taking part in this disorder, whether directly or those whipping up this action online and then running away themselves. This is not protest. It is organised, violent thuggery.
Again, not the Muslims with the machetes, the knives, and the 2x4s. Not them. The whites. The whites he's talking about.
And it has no place on our streets or online.
Listen, you whites. You get out there and you take your Muslim beatings. How dare you? How dare you? So, here that we talk about misinformation and hate speech, and we have the First Amendment right where government cannot impose, anything against our speech. They don't have that over there. They do not.
No, because you're not. Yeah, it's not a republic.
And and what happens is, they have Twitter there, X, whatever. And Elon Musk, he don't give a fuck. He's they want Elon Musk to take down this misinformation because we can't have the Muslims look bad. We can't have that. That's horrible. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to get that Elon Musk. We're going to drag him to England. We're going to prosecute him. Where do you hear this shit?
The time has come for Elon Musk to face the full force of UK law. And if that means extraditing Elon Musk to the UK to face UK courts and the UK justice system over his spreading of misinformation and lies that have sown division, chaos and riots in our country, then so be it. We will do that. And with the help of Keir Starmer, who is a trained, equipped prosecutor and lawyer, Elon Musk will be held accountable.
For what? Yeah. The truth? Free speech? Allowing a platform to show what's actually going on over in England?
For not censoring. It's for
not
him
having censorship?
Yeah.
For not putting a thumb on the scale? Is that what your problem is there, buddy? That's what your problem is?
Not allow foreign agitators to bring our country to its knees.
They are bringing it to its knees. They're in your country, stupid.
What do you mean, the Muslims? Not the Muslims.
Yes, the agitators.
The agitator is Elon Musk because he's letting Twitter go in. You know what you could do? You could turn off.
Because words.
Words. Yeah.
Words.
And video. God forbid you see the video of the Muslims walking around with machetes and knives attacking the whites.
Well, that's
and
just
beating up the
made
whites. Can't have that. That fucks up the whole narrative when you got the Muslims doing that.
Way. We have to stand up to the richest man in the world. And if that means shutting down X in this country.
I dare you.
Go for it. Shut down your people then.
You soy boy, Starbucks drinking pussy. I dare you shut down X. Go ahead. Your fucking country will be screaming.
Well, who is this guy? He's just some dingbat.
I don't know. But he is all pissed off.
I would say that would be a good first step. It is X that is the reason why these riots are happening.
Yes,
you're
right.
X why the riots are happening. It's
I'm sorry, who stabbed children?
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's the Muslims that are attacking the people, and they have no go zones where you can't even go in there. Like if a Western woman would go in there and she didn't have her head covered or whatever the fuck they have their women do,
hijab.
They beat them. Okay.
No. Yeah.
All right. That's why you can't show that. That's horrible.
Elon
Bugger
Musk
says
that is a
they eat
reason
beans on
why
toast
these
for
things
breakfast. They're savages.
Yeah.
Any other
Ew.
explanation is simply not true.
Yeah, any other explanation is simply not true. It's not the moose lambs. Can't be the moose lambs.
Where did you get this video? Was it on X? So would
Got it
he
on
be
X.
breaking law?
Yeah, he
by
went to
being
X
on
to tell them to
X
take
talking
X down.
about the riots?
Right. He's using his free speech.
I can use my free speech,
Right.
but Elon Musk can't.
Right, 'cause
Isn't
you know
censoring
why?
people enough.
Because I'm shilling for the Patriot.
Oh, it's a
That's what I'm
TikTok.
doing. That's what I'm a
Bob's-
shill right here.
Bob says it's a TikTok.
It is TikTok.
So Elon Musk,
I
let
don't
me
see
be
the
clear.
thingy on it.
Uh-oh. Hold on. This dweeb here is going to talk to the richest man in the world and level a threat. Okay, soy boy, what's your fucking threat? Here we go.
So Elon Musk, let me be clear. You are on borrowed time, and I speak as a journalist myself.
Oh, he's a journalist. You know what you should do? Turn in your pencil and your pad. You are no fucking journalist. You are an activist. That's what you are. If you were a journalist, you'd be out on the streets writing about what's actually happening and reporting it. And you are not. You're over here pissed off because somebody else is reporting it. And it's making you look bad. It's making you look like the soy boy, little silly half a man that you actually are. Go
I
get
love that
some
you keep
fucking
saying
man
soy boy.
glasses, you with your granny woman glasses on. Goddamn pussy.
You just are so angry.
Look at that. Tell me that
Soy
tell me
boy,
that chin
really.
hasn't had some balls hit it every once in a while. That guy's had, let me tell you something. That guy's had more balls bounce off his chin than a cockeyed catcher.
I believe firmly in the truth.
Liar. You don't believe in the truth?
Liar.
Speaking the truth and holding the powerful to
Where's
to
Dave's
account.
drop? Liar.
And believe you me,
Where is Dave's drop?
Liar. I love
God
that drop.
damn it. I got to learn. I got to figure where. Can't find where it is.
Don't
I
you
have it
label
here. Double check. Nope.
Not
All
that
right.
one. Not that
Not
one.
that one. Anyhow.
Sorry.
right now, you are on my watch list.
Oh, soy boy here has just put Elon Musk on his watch list. Oh, Elon's probably shaking in his fucking boots.
Elon's like, who are you?
You know,
He doesn't care.
actually, the Boomer Bunker podcast has a response to this gentleman right here.
We do. Okay.
So go fuck yourselves.
There you go.
Thank you, Representative.
That's Representative Deuce.
We appreciate his service.
Yeah, it just, ugh.
Hey, Gordon.
All right. So
Just
they're
a little
upset
late,
about
Gordon.
Easton. The Muslims are out there. And so here's what happened. So now the UK cops, who do you think they're out there arresting? The Muslims?
Oh, no.
White women.
Still trying to insult me? I'll be on your back.
Oh, my God. Is it 3 of them on her?
Because nothing is a threat to democracy like a bunch of white
White women.
broads out there on the street. Look at their pocketbook there and her.
Oh, okay. They got her
chapstick
smashed down
lady.
on the street.
Right. He's got 3
That's kinda
cops
shitty.
trying to cuff a woman. Should be ashamed of yourselves. Should be. You know what? You all.
Hey, she should be lucky they didn't shoot her.
They should all. They don't have any guns. These are.
I know. That was the
English
joke.
cops. They don't have any guns.
We know. We know.
This, they should all turn in their badges. They're a disgrace to the uniform. White women. Although, to be honest with you, I think a few white women around here need to be arrested, but
Yeah.
I digress.
But that white guy's helpfully
With
filming.
your camera.
This is going to be the front page of the news, governor.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's as good as I got.
Now, you know, again,
For the
God
queen.
forbid, because you know what it is? It's the fact that they are taking and making the Muslim community look bad. I mean, it wouldn't be like, you know, if you were out there doing a live report on these protests and all of a sudden the Muslims showed up and did, you know. So let's see what happens when the Muslims are out there in the wild and there's a live reporter out there covering this.
I'm joined by Matthew Thompson now.
I keep missing the
racial hatred online, one of which...
No, that's not it either. Where is it? Did I do something wrong here?
Maybe. But we'll find out.
Community leaders have been speaking to the police as well, because community leaders have...
Here's what we have here. We have a white woman out on the street doing a report,
minding her own business,
just telling everybody what's going on. And a few Muslims see a white lady without anything on her hair, so they come over to investigate.
Community leaders have been speaking to the police as well, because...
Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Fuck!
Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
But I think,
his face covered.
Apologies for the language you're hearing, but a sense of the anger, I think you can hear there.
Yeah, Katie, I think Becky, I apologise. We need to
run away.
Leave you there, and
we need to leave you there.
We'll have security there, and
we have security there.
You're on your own, bitch. Run.
Why do you have security there? Why do you need security? They're the peaceful Muslims. The Muslims are not. They're not the problem. Why would you
fucking
need security?
Descended on her? Do you see how nervous she looked? Like immediately, just started
like,
to.
Uh-oh.
And this guy's like, "Yeah, we're not gonna show this. Sorry, you're gonna get stabbed." But
all right. So let me go back to this thing. So now you can't go to Facebook and comment. All right, because if you're commenting against this, this is hate speech, and they'll arrest your ass.
Oh yeah.
The offence of incitement to racial hatred involves publishing or distributing material which is insulting or abusive, which is intended to or likely to stir up racial hatred.
Oh.
What?
Well, see, what happens here is there could be some racial hatred if if you post something. It might make the Muslims look bad, and it might actually have incite the whites to come out there and defend themselves. We can't have that. We have to protect the Muslims. The Muslims are a protected group.
Thank goodness Facebook's going to protect me from that.
Right. I have the wrong camera picked on this one. Hold on.
Okay.
That's not that one. There we go. That's the camera I need. Yes, because we're a polite society over here in England, and we can't have this kind of rubbish on social media where it would create an anti-Muslim hate. This is against the law. We will have to find them and prosecute them, and we'll have to jail them for their freedom of speech and their wayward thoughts.
So if you retweet that, then you're republishing that, and then potentially you're committing that offence.
Wow.
So not only is the person that wrote this rubbish, if you retweet it, well, you're just as bad as the rubbish that wrote this, and we will come and we will arrest you too.
And we do have dedicated police officers who are scouring social media. Their job is to look for this material and then follow up with identification arrests and so forth. So it's a really, really serious. People might think they're not doing anything harmful. They are.
No, they're not. They're not doing anything harmful. They're
we
just
have our police scouring Facebook. That's what you have your police doing?
Yeah.
Wow.
And the
all right, we're going to look through everybody's Facebook.
Them.
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
Wow.
I know. This is what you have. This is coming here. This is going to end up here.
Oh, Sparky says you'd be a good narrator, though. He says you'd be good at narrating nature movies.
I'm joined by Matthew Thompson now to talk through this. So, Matthew, the last point there is crucial, isn't it? Some people might be sharing simply to warn their friends, but it could be considered an offence because they're amplifying this.
Absolutely, and that's the key message, is that however you think you're acting innocently on social media, whatever platform it is, you're just sharing something for whatever reason, that could potentially be a criminal offence. And look, it's not an idle threat either, because the Crown Prosecution Service were keen to point out that they've made a number of charges in relation to stirring up of racial hatred online, one of which this morning was for distributing a recording that could, intending to stir up racial hatred. And so they are actually already bringing charges in relation to this sort of thing. So it's a very, very clear message, based in the harsh reality, if you like, that if you do this kind of thing, you are potentially committing a criminal offence. There he said it. They've got teams of people scouring the internet looking for this sort of thing. And if you are in the business of sharing or retweeting, whatever platform it might be, potentially criminal material, well, then you could find yourself prosecuted.
So if you shared that news story that perhaps of that young woman who everybody came running up to, if you shared that, that's stirring up racial inciting. Is that inciting?
Well, that pussy
by sharing
reporter
article?
That pussy reporter with his woman glasses and his little pussy beard
Okay,
that's putting Elon Musk on notice. If he saw this, then if I came to England, then they would come after me too. Because I'm inciting racial hatred. Like he is. The only problem is the racial hatred that he's showing is for white people. You know, you're filthy Caucasians. See, your filthy Caucasians are the people that are allowed to be discriminated against because, you know, white privilege. White privilege. That's the privilege we
to
have
get
now.
stabbed and beat up. That's cool. Those kids really had all that white privilege. It's a good thing they were taken away. They were slaughtered so they could enjoy their white privilege of, you know, living and stuff.
So if you don't think that shit's on its way here, you're out of your mind. Because like right now, we have a constitution that protects our freedom of speech. Unless our buddy Tim Walz gets elected because, well, we know what he thinks about free speech.
I think we need to push back on this. There's no guarantee to free speech on misinformation or...
Yes, there is.
It's a guarantee on speech, dude. It's literally
Tim,
speech.
Tampon Tim, how about you do this? How about, Bob, do me a favor. Can you mail this guy a fucking copy of the Constitution? And then maybe we can underline the First Amendment, the first one, freedom of speech. Maybe we should send them the Supreme Court ruling where hate speech is free speech. And you're allowed to do that, right? It's not hate speech. It's speech that you hate.
You know, it wasn't hate speech when the Palestinian students were on campuses, was it? Is it hate speech there? Oh, that's interesting. So only certain people saying to certain people, replying back, that's hate speech.
Well, you're allowed to hate white people and Jews.
Okay.
White people and Jews are allowed to be hated. Everybody else, no.
Speech on misinformation or hate speech, and especially around our democracy.
Could someone want to tell him what we're talking about here?
Nah.
I swear to God. It's just amazing that they actually, they don't think, or they're not thinking. So if this election doesn't tell you anything, and here's the problem. They just got to get it close. Okay, they can't have it a blowout because if it's a blowout, they won't be able to steal it. The reason they were able to steal it before because it was really close. All right, so now what they're trying to do is they're trying to keep it close. They're using they're pulling out all the stops. They're trying to arrest them. They're trying to put Trump in jail. Everything that Trump says, everything that J.D. Vance says, you know, the press attacks them like a pit bull on a pork chop. And all they do is got to get it close so they can steal it. And that's what they want to do.
Yeah. Did they move up Trump's sentencing?
Yes, they did. He's going to be sent. He could be sent. He's going to be sentenced before the election.
November. Wow.
Let me just tell you something. If they put him in jail, that might be. But that's what they want. They want the whites to come out like Black Lives Matter and start burning shit down. Because again, when it was Free Palestine and they took over the Capitol and they all sat in at the Capitol, nobody got arrested. All right. Or if they got arrested, they were let go that day with a ticket, a slap on the hand, and say, you know, guess what? We know.
Well, they have groups. They have groups bailing them out. Like their sole purpose is to bail these kids out. The protesters. They're not kids, but that's their job. They go in and just bail them out. They have wads of cash, and they just go in and fund to get them out of jail.
Well, that's what the team of Walz and Harris did. Walz let them burn the city down, and anyone that got arrested, Harris had them bailed out, gave them money to bail them out. They want that. They want the burning down of America. That's what they want.
Well, if you divide everybody up, it's easy to conquer it.
Mhm.
So we'll see. We shall see.
All right. What I wanted to get to is the 2024 and 2024.
Yes. Yes.
You guys are there, man. You're only you're less than 1,000 miles.
We are.
You're 1,000 miles, and you're both in the same state. Look at you.
Oh, look at us.
Right?
I'm like right on the edge, but yeah, we're both. Was it Colorado? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still in West Philly, running from the Nigerian Germans. Is what I'm
You're doing great.
I'm trying to get out of the way of all those Nigerian Germans in West Philly.
Yep.
Maybe that should be the title of the episode: Nigerian Germans. I like that title.
That might be. Yeah, you'd have to. Yes. So, but yeah, Josh and I are pretty close on our miles, and I mean, I have. Looking at the numbers, I have 585 miles to go till I hit goal. So at this point, I'm probably going to, yeah.
Oh, yeah. For some reason, I thought it was 2,400 miles. No, it's only 2,024 miles. So you got 500 miles to go. Oh, you're kicking ass. You're going to be way done.
We're doing good. Technically, if I keep this progress, I would be done by November 7th.
Okay.
So we'll see what I end up with the actual end of the year. So should be. So, well, remember, we did this on Sunday. So I broke 1,400. I'd just gotten over 1,400 miles.
So as of this moment, what do you have right now?
As of this moment, I have 1,438. So I'm actually a couple miles ahead of that. So,
okay.
But he did that this morning.
Oh, all right. So you're doing it.
Yes. Parky says I should get it done by October 31st. I might, since I'm doing the 20-mile hike in the first week of October. So maybe it'll speed it up a bit. I know.
All right. Well,
I signed one up for November, in April too, in Virginia.
Of 2025?
Yeah. I signed up for a 20-mile hike in 2025 in Virginia.
That's what I just said.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking
2025.
about
So
something else.
are you going to do 2,025 miles in 2025?
I think I might. This is fun. This is a fun challenge.
Okay.
I'm tired, but it's fun. I wanted to see if I could do it. I just kind of stumbled on it, and this challenge has been around for a bit. So,
well, after I get done here, you know what I got to do?
Pee?
I have to go put a new railing.
Oh, you do?
Where is it? Is it?
Oh, so Bob asked if I go over miles. No, whatever I do in 2024 stays in 2024, and then 2025 is a whole new challenge. Is that the new brackets for your?
Yeah, I have some extras, heavy duties.
So I guess when you lost your balance, you pulled the bracket from the wall.
I snapped it off. I snapped it in half. The screws are still in the wall.
Oh my God!
Done did snap it.
You should put a picture of that in Discord.
No.
Like. This is my ripped up wall.
Those fucking animals over there.
They're so mean, I know.
I know. Fuck them. Hey, listen, if you want to be an animal and come into our Discord, or you want to follow us on social media, we have, basically all our links are in the show notes of this episode. And also it's a link to our link tree, and it has everything in there. So if you want to come in and join us and break my balls.
I updated our website in that, by the way.
Oh, yeah. If you want to go check out our website, we actually have boomerbunker.com. Boomerbunker.com. Go check it out.
Who'd have
And you know what you can do there? You can leave a review. You can leave a review there, which is really nice.
Or you could be super modern and send us a text or a voicemail. 856-477-1935. Do we have any?
I didn't even check. No. I didn't even check.
Well, if we have any, we'll check for Sunday.
Okay. All right, everybody.
Join us in Discord.
Wrap it up. We're going to go to Discord after this. I'm going to turn the fan on so I don't pass the fuck out.
You're falling apart, man.
Falling apart. All right, everybody. We will talk to you later.
Absolutely. Good night.